Hi guys, it's James here from Axopar London Group. I'm down in Poole today at our main base facility where the boats arrive in from the shipyard, where we carry out PDI, etc. And I'm bringing you today the first 37XC, which is the cross cabin version of the Axopar 37, launched back in Düsseldorf this year in January. On my channel you'll also see a full review I did back at the show, but today, just out in the sunshine for the first time, I'm going to walk you through the first boat here, which has just turned up ready for PDI and delivery to the client. So if I just spin the camera around behind me here you'll see in standard colour trim, it's an all white boat without the Brabus line trim, so it's a great looking, I have to say, great looking hull shape. Now she's outside for the first time. You can see the revision to the hull design. If you check out the Mark 1 videos, also you'll see on my channel this revised, very sharp point of entry still on the front, 20-degree dead rise through the hull with a twin step underneath there, so very efficient running. They say the boat actually runs a little quicker than the Mark 1 version. This particular owner has selected the twin 300 V8 Mercury engines, which were launched beginning of 2019, and we're getting up to a top speed with these engines sort of approaching 50 knots, so it's a really nice, quick, functional package. He's selected the white engines, you can see here, so standard will be black, and there is then a further upgrade option to go up to twin 350 Verados if you so wish, which is the supercharged 6-cylinder engine. So just giving you a quick tour around the outside here, we've got this very big heavy duty rubbing strake that runs all the way around the hull. The owner's selected the side rails up top there, you'll see, mandatory in certain territories but optional here in Europe. So real striking looks. There's nothing else on the water that looks like an Axopar. Easy to see why the brand is doing so well in the market at the moment. So this Mark II boat really has stepped up the quality. They've learnt a lot from the first Mark I models that came out a few years back. And let's head on board and have a look around. Various option layouts on the back. Again, you check out my other video, you'll see the layout derivatives on the back here, but this particular owner selected the wetbar, aft cockpit wetbar package here, and we've got the storage underneath the deck here, so we just lift up the floors. You'll see that you've got the deep space here for a couple of blow up paddle boards in their bags, or dive kit or what have you, great for fishing as well. Removable rails here, so these will have a drop down seat cushion which he selected, which we will fit during the PDI, and we've got this stainless steel water ski frame as well. So the standard rails, if you go for the options package, are in stainless steel, as you see here, and then you can, if you go with the Brabus trim package, they would be black painted rails. Here in the starboard aft locker, storage, and then if we come across on the port side as well, you've got a hand bilge pump here, and this is a pull-out transom shower. There's a 100-litre water tank on board, socket at the back here for flagpole. There's 8 deck cleats, and you'll see these nice little Axopar logos, so very good good little attention to detail there. Full S-Tech package on the decks, so you'll see the sort of little feature inlay stripes on the bit sort of built into the caulk, if you like. And they've increased the height. If I drop the camera down here, you'll see the gunnel height has increased, so it's very safe if you've got young kids or dogs or what have you that come out boating with you. It's a very practical space to walk around and keep an eye on what have you on the family. Standard, these little steps, handy for climbing on and off over the side. And if we just walk up forward, you'll see there's a single step up here which takes you up onto the bow area. Various options up top here, so the client selected this bow cushion which sits on top of the anchor storage locker. We just pop that open. You can see he selected the electric anchor winch, which has a control down here, the circuit breakers there, and also the shore power systems in here, so you can see the main breaker for the 220 volt system, plug in for the socket there, and some handy little tie-ups for mooring lines as well. Just drop that back down. LED navigation lights up top here, and obviously a nice stainless bow roller up on the forepeak. Worth noting, this is a storage locker here, which is again a factory option, and lift up handy storage on the deck if you've got something like a life raft nice place to keep it. The seat here is standard, so this is a Silvertech Storm, which is the standard upholstery. There are a couple of other options which you can check out on the Axopar site to give you a different look to the boat. And then the owner has again selected, this was a much talked about option on the new Mark II Revolution, was the gull wing doors. So we'll pop those open in a sec and just see how much difference that makes to the cabin downstairs. Just looking up on top of the roof here, just climb up so you can see we've got a protective cover at the moment over the opening sunroof. This owner's gone for the electric option, which is basically then a push button. The whole area in the middle here retracts. And then we've got a folding light gantry, so the central T section here that the radar's sat on folds aft, so it gives you a little bit more bridge height clearance. And then you've got the options up top there for the remote control spotlight and the Simrad dome and radar up top there as well. Nice drain channel here on the roof, and it also doubles up as a handy place to grab hold of when you're at sea. We'll just have a look at what's in the wet bar. So there's a catch here on the starboard side. So there's space if you wanted to put an electric griddle on the top here, and then we've got a really deep cool box. That's great when you don't open the front door on a fridge, everything dumps itself onto the aft deck if you've been running at sea. And then we've got a handy little sink, and below we've got some nice storage cupboards. Everything's nicely finished on the inside of these lockers. You can see a nice wipe clean gel coat finish, nice seals on the doors, and again little details of things like the leatherette inlay here and the Axopar branding. So it's a real step up in quality from what was already a very popular Mark I boat that they've run for a few years. Worth noting here on the side doors, so these are now a much bigger door than on the Mark I, so they slide right back, give a much bigger opening into the central cockpit area. So visibility from the helm is great for coming alongside docking, what have you. Apologies, I can't power the boat up as we don't have any batteries in her yet, but luckily it's a bright day here in Poole. So we've got two helm and co-pilot seats here, which will spin around 180 degrees to give you additional space around the dining table. And obviously this drop down cushion, which gives you the option to either sit at the helm or stand up when you're driving. And if I just step down, and you notice you do step down into the boat, so it's a recessed helm. We've got this really good panoramic glass all the way round. So from a docking perspective, it's very simple. So I can just lean my head out and see both ways. So if I'm single-handed boating, very easy to facilitate that. So sitting at the helm here, we've got the tilt helm steering wheel, so standard in this leatherette finish, optional in the Alcantara if you take the Brabus line pack. I've got fly-by-wire Mercury throttles here, so that's one touch in and out of gear, and they've got loads of options here, so things like that's the power trim for the engines. We've got single lever control, revving up things like throttle only, synchronizing my RPMs, and this boat's also taken the upgrade to the vessel view system, auto trim system as well, so it's very comprehensively spec'd. If we look up on the dash here, you'll see the premium glass bridge Simrad pack. So we've got two beautiful, I can't say unfortunately power them up, they're in my YouTube video saved from Dusseldorf show, but these are glass bridge displays which will give us navigation, AIS, the radars up there. This owner's elected for a depth sounder as well, so fish finder system. It's a really complete, very clean, slick looking helm here, ergonomic, everything's falling nicely to hand. Bow thruster is a factory option, and then during PDI we're actually retrofitting a stern thruster as well. This owner's going to use the boat a lot on his own and just wanted the comfort of that manoeuvrability offered. We'll have a little look at the system when we get back off the boat in a minute. Trim tab joystick here, and then over on the starboard here we've got, this is the switch for the electric opening roof, and then some nice little LED push button switches here for washers and wipers and lighting and what have you. Tucked over on the starboard side, this is the Webasto factory diesel heating system, which has got outlets in all the cabins. And then down below we've got a DSC VHF, and then this is the immobilizer system, obviously key start and kill cord plug-in and what have you. So yeah, very straightforward helm. And then spinning around behind us we have all the seating basically for passengers, and then where you'd obviously spend your time in port for socialising. So we've got a nice big L-shaped seating area here, saying standard upholstery. Storage wise, as we don't have the aft cabin, we've got this lift up storage locker under the back seat. It's a big void, certainly big enough to put another portable fridge in if you needed the extra capacity on board. We've got a nice finished storage locker under the starboard side, and this table obviously opens up to give us a much bigger area for those that want to dine on board. And there is the option to turn this into a galley pack as well, so there's a central option for a hob and some storage lockers here. This is the Dometic pull-out drawer fridge. There's also an option now to have a full height fridge with a small sort of freezer compartment in that as well. Let's head forward, just show you lift up this hatch. Couple of different layouts forward on these. So this particular boat has got the heads compartment, which is now this closed off option here, as well as the separate cabin forward. The standard boat, this would all be open in here, and you'd have a toilet under a seat. So there's a couple of options. Owner hasn't selected it, but there was the option for a shower that sits up here on the port side, and hot water is now also an option on new builds as well. So if we just shut the door, you can now see there's a Jabsco electric flush toilet, and then down the back here there's a little sink and a storage locker here as well for bits and pieces. And there's all your main 12 volt circuit breakers up on the bulkhead panel behind us. So you'll see things like the heating outlets here, great for drying out if you've got wet weather gear and what have you. Put a couple of coat hooks in there, and you can put your coats and oilies in there. So if we look forward into the main accommodation, got the big V berth forward, which is standard. This is all standard upholstery. These handy little lift up steps here, which just give a bit more space on the end of the bed. Harbour covers, so they've gone for a grey sunbrella rather than the red, so they go around the windows outside. You've got a little window up forward here, which is opening, which is factory standard. And then the skylight up top here is also a standard feature. And the main option in here now is to either select these gull wing doors, or what would be a fixed panel, which is just a GRP panel that fits in there if you don't select it. So we just pop the latches, let these up, and stand back. Now you can see how much light is let into the boat. It's cavernous down here with these open. So it's a real nice feature that they've incorporated. And we've got these nice sort of dual sort of glass storage there, but also steps to get up onto the side deck. Mains power 3-pin socket there for the shore power system. Boxes here just with things like the propellers and what have you. Say we're just starting to PDI this boat at the moment. She's got the full comfort pack, which is these nice finished panels here up in the roof, and they run, say, little detail, also the LED lights as well. So I can't power them up at the moment, but there's a nice little strip in the middle here, and there's feature lighting that runs all the way around both sides of the bed. And then moving back into the main saloon, again, comfort pack. This is up here on the top with LED lighting. I say there's a very versatile options list on these. You can really go to town if you want something fully loaded, or keep the boat very simple if it's just going to be a utility, something to go out fishing at the weekend with just the guys on board. So you can see now from the outside with the difference with the doors open. Just come around the front so you can see them both up in parallel. And how easy the access is down into the cabin. So if you can imagine somebody's using that heads compartment there, easy enough to still get in and access the bedroom. So all in all, loaded up, this boat's about 223,000 euros ex-tax on the water, supplied here in the UK with the twin 300s. If you just tuck down in the middle there, you can see the optional stern thruster that this owner's elected to have put on during the commissioning phase. The availability on these is now running late summer, so we can build a new open spec of these sort of late August, early September 2020. It's been hugely popular, and we've got this steady stream of these now arriving here into Poole, ready for commissioning and onwards delivery to clients. I say we're main dealers for a number of European territories, but myself based here in the UK, my main focus is looking after our clients here. So if you'd like to find out any further information, my mobile number is +44 7747 686 587, or you can drop me an email to james.lumley@axoparlondongroup.com. I can answer any questions, send you some further photos, and when lockdown restrictions are eased, we should be able to get you on board to come and check one of these out in the flesh. Hope you've enjoyed the tour today. Sorry it's brief. We look forward to hearing from you.